I'm just getting my little basket ready so that we can have a sentiment of metta as our intention for our practice today. This one is speaking to me. I'd like to take a moment and invite the chime to sing. And then I'd like to share with you this sentiment of loving kindness as a way to begin our practice. Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in this community, and it is my privilege to be here today, guiding our practice and our conversation. This particular sentiment of metta was painted by Michelle in Florida, who sends me some of her art. And I love this one. I think this one was dipped in pine cones or palm fronds or something. And the sentiment that I wrote on the back of this one reads, "May you see clearly. Thoughts support actions, and actions support thoughts. May you see clearly. Thoughts support actions, and actions support thoughts." Take a moment, friends, and arrive fully to this time together. And I encourage you to see if you can take on a celebratory essence, celebrating that you have prioritized this time for yourself, that you have entered into a community of Kalyana Mitras, wise friends, that you have found yourself in the presence of three jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, that you are celebrating this time to examine habit energy and your relationship to your habits, positive, negative, neutral. And this time together is a way to cultivate a deeper understanding, wise insight. Breathe that in and allow your heart to feel glad and maybe even proud that you are doing this for yourself and by extension for so many others. Friends, for the month of July, we are exploring the Noble Eightfold Path, the last four of the wisdom aspects of this way of life. For those of you who are not familiar with the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha taught this as a truth, a noble truth, that the Noble Eightfold Path is a way out of the repetitive, cyclical conditions of dissatisfaction, misery, malcontent that we endure as human beings. The four elements that we're going to explore today, in the traditional sense, are called wise effort. To understand the causes and conditions of misery in our own life requires some effort. To shift our relationship to our habits and the conditions that create so much dis-ease and dissatisfaction requires effort. To stay alert, to stay curious, to stay attentive requires effort. On the Noble Eightfold Path, there's also wise livelihood. And this isn't just about what you do for a job. That's part of it. As we broaden the scope and open to possibilities, wise livelihood includes how you live your precious human life, which is one of the four noble reminders. You have a precious human life. How are you living it? For those of us on the journey of recovering our Buddha nature and our true selves, how we have lived life has been fully engaged with distraction, numbing, self-soothing, dissociation, habits and patterns of behavior to cope with the stressors of life that may have at one time been helpful and beneficial. But that time is long gone, and now those habits have become sources of misery unto themselves. And so we are here to understand that, and more importantly, to understand the layers of coping associated with it. So wise livelihood, how do you want to live your precious human life? The third aspect that we are exploring this month on the Noble Eightfold Path is wise mindfulness. Mindfulness is present moment awareness. Easier said than done to come back to the moment, the present moment. Because most of us have developed a propensity to either relish the past, what we've done, almost to the point of worshiping the past. And we constantly bring it forward like an overlay. And we can't seem to relinquish it. Let it be in the past. And let the memory inform the present moment so that we can continue to do things differently in the future. But because we spend so much time thinking about the past, we also spend a lot of time on the edge of the present moment worrying about the future. I've done so many shitty things in the past. What's my future going to be like? I hope it's not going to be as shitty. All the while we forget, or we don't even notice, that in the present moment something is happening that's miraculous and awe-inspiring. And that is, we're alive and we're breathing, and we have this precious opportunity to wake up to the conditions of our lives. It's extraordinary. But we can't do it without mindfulness, without present time awareness. And that leads us right into the final aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path, which is wise concentration. We have to look. We have to concentrate. We have to create an environment in our own mind and body that limits distractions so that we can focus, so that we can create space and openness. The modern life moves so fast and it is so noisy, and we have become so desensitized to the cacophony of auditory noise, visual noise, both of which can be aggressive and hostile. And so we have to make this effort to create environments of stillness and spaciousness and peace. And that's what we're endeavoring to do this month. To enact this practice of wise effort, of wise livelihood, of wise mindfulness and wise concentration, I'd like to bring forward the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And I invite you to enjoy the effort of simply noticing, what's your body doing? Do you have any tension somewhere? Does your body feel fatigued? Does your body feel alert and excited? Perhaps your body has a little tension in your belly, a little nervous-sided, as my daughters like to say. Perhaps your body feels nice and at ease. Just notice, what's your body all about today, in this moment? And enjoy a cycle of breathing in and breathing out with full awareness. Breathing in, I'm aware I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I'm aware I'm breathing out. Notice your mood. That's the second foundation of mindfulness, your emotions. What's your mood today? Remember, friends, we're not practicing to judge ourselves. If we're in a bad mood, we're not here to scold ourselves for being in a bad mood, for having an upset, or to even turn that around. This is a practice of simple awareness. I'm irritated. I had an agitation. Tightened my muscles. Okay. Let that be your present time awareness. Give yourself full permission to have and experience the emotional range that you do. And breathe with it, breathing out my mood, breathing in my mood, breathing out my mood. Come into that awareness. allow your concentration, your attention and focus to turn a gentle gaze toward your thoughts. What's your mind thinking? And just be curious about it. Maybe you've been entertaining lunch. This morning, I went into my art studio to grab a card that I had made. And the next thing I know, my actions were driven by a thought that was so unexpected. And the thought was, "Psst, Julia, you should pull out fabric to make doll clothes." And I was like, what a great idea. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. That's exactly what I'm going to do. The mind is such a circus and such a joy, and at times a nightmare. So it helps to monitor it, to look at it, to wonder, to follow it, and to sometimes pause. Why am I thinking what I'm thinking? Would you look at that? Is that even true? Is it the whole truth? The mind is a wonderful place to explore. So let's take a few minutes to breathe in and breathe out with our thoughts. And again, friends, this is not about changing the thoughts. This is about being very spacious in our effort to notice our thoughts. And if you get attached to one particular thought, just notice the attachment. And in the noticing, see if you experience a little bit of ease. Maybe even a little joy in the observation. It's amazing how thoughts strung together create stories. Traditionally, the fourth foundation of mindfulness is referred to as mental formations or perceptions. I like to use the word stories because often in the privacy of my own mind, my thoughts almost narrate themselves. And they formulate stories that can dictate my mood. They can dictate the feeling in my body. And they often dictate my actions. Remember our sentiment of metta today. May you see clearly thoughts support actions and actions support thoughts. And without awareness, without concentration, we can have a thought and a story associated, and then the next thing we know, we're a mile down the road in reactivity. It seems automatic and involuntary. And in fact, it's often unconscious. And so The Noble Eightfold Path reminds us we can come back to the present moment. And with effort, and with mindfulness, present time awareness, and concentration and focus, we can examine ourselves. We can explore the richness within. And that exploration informs our whole way of life. In the moments that we have spent together in this practice, we have already experienced and walked together this path, these 4 elements. It's that simple. It's that profound. Take to heart, friends. You have everything you need to make the effort to improve and change your life, to be present moment to moment, and to have a moment's focus and concentration. This is your Buddha nature. This is indeed your nature. It simply may need the support of a little bit of practice. So let's enjoy another moment or two of breathing, the beauty and wonder of this practice. Let's go ahead and end our practice today with a dedication of merit. There isn't a moment in your day that can't be framed in mindfulness, present time awareness. It simply requires some effort, some concentration, but engaging in that way changes your life. And it changes, by extension, all the lives you encounter, whether you're aware of it or not. That's the miracle of mindfulness. May you go into your day and be happy and peaceful. May you feel safe and protected. May your mind and your heart enjoy freedom and liberation from all the conditions that cause you discomfort. May you be blessed. Namaste.